Come on now. You're 40 years old, who cares? Just live your life. We literally don't have very long. My kids have just left the house. If it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me if you do that. So I thought it would only be appropriate, since this is my first video for 2019, is to do a New Year's beauty resolutions video. So I was kind of apprehensive of making this just because I don't like making promises I can't keep. But what I can say is this will consciously help me make wiser choices for 2019. I mean, I don't know, I don't think I have any other regular resolutions apart from the obvious try and be more fit. You know, every single year I say I'm going to be in the gym more often, but I'm seriously going to try hard this year. I want to try hard. I've got one half of me that wants to try really hard to look after. It's good to look after yourself. I believe in looking after yourself. I believe it makes you feel better internally and externally if you look after yourself by working out and eating right. And then I've got a tiny little bit of me which thinks, come on now. You're 40 years old. Who cares? Just live your life. Eat what you want, be happy. Horrible, I hate it. Oh, does anyone feel my struggle? Does anyone share that same mentality? So these are my beauty resolutions for 2019. The first one is an obvious one. I've got 8 of them here. That's quite a lot. That's quite a high demand for me. If I think that I'm not going to be able to keep all of these resolutions, then I will be honest and upfront and tell you. But the point of me making this video is that I want to, this is what I definitely want to do. So here we go. Number 1, use more of what I have. That's a pretty obvious one. I think we all should be doing that. Use more of the products that we have instead of letting them collect dust. I have foundations which need using, which is why I cut back on the foundations. Because I don't actually consider myself a makeup collector. I love makeup. And I am getting a nice collection of stuff, but I've never wanted to be the type of person just to have every release and have it sitting there looking really pretty but not using it. So, and I've mentioned that on other videos before. So definitely the most obvious one is use more of what I actually already have. The second one is, I think this is a good one. Don't be taken in by false info / advertising. This for me is more aimed at the really big YouTubers out there. No shade, no disrespect to them. I do watch their videos. I like to see their opinions on stuff. When they're reviewing a brand new product which has just come out, 9 out of 10 they seem happy with it. I feel like it's kind of hard to tell on an initial review on a brand new product whether it's a really good one or not. And I think that other people are catching on, other YouTubers are catching on, whereas they prefer to try a product out for a certain amount of time and then come back to you with their thorough thoughts. Initial reviews to me is kind of hard, and foundations being one of them, you know, because to us, the viewer, a lot of foundations look the same once applied on the skin. They go on quite nicely, they blend in. Usually on the initial application process, it looks quite nice on the skin, and then people do a wear test for maybe 8 to 12 hours. I can appreciate those more than just reviewing it on the initial application and that's it. The real thorough reviews are the ones who are taking their time wearing it for at least a week and letting us know, you know, has it got staying power? Has it separated on their skin? Has the oil come through? I'm not an oily person, so I don't really suffer with that, but those are the types of things that we desperately need to know before we go out and purchase it. I take what they're saying with a pinch of salt when it's a brand new product, but then there's also the other videos. What really annoy me is when they're doing a tutorial or a get ready with me and they're talking about these products, which I might be one of them. They talk about the products they're using and sometimes you can just tell it's like way overhyped. They literally try and sell it to you through the camera. So whether it's sponsored or not sponsored, I don't know whether they are or not, but I was falling into a trap of listening to these videos and listening to them say it really makes your skin completely flawless, a big glow to your skin. To me, only a certain few products that I found which genuinely do something good to the face. I have fell into the trap of listening and watching the videos where they've told me blatantly this is what this item does, and it hasn't done it for me. And I know everything works differently on different skin, whether they're older, younger. I mean, if you can stick on quite a lot of products on a 20-year-old something skin, and it's going to look pretty nice. So obviously for me, I'm looking for something which is not going to dry my skin out, not going to accentuate lines or sink into the lines where I look so tired today. So yeah, my under eye wrinkles, no matter what powder I use under here, it can just really look dried up and cakey. Definitely not going to be taken into people's initial thoughts on products, and really look into what they're saying and see if it's the same across the board. You know, it's so hard when one person is saying, oh, it's great, it's amazing, when you've got another one who's saying it doesn't really work for me. It's like, what do you do? And you just have to try and test these things, but don't do it without really knowing your stuff. Number 3, this is quite another obvious one. Don't buy on impulse. So I have definitely got better at doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that into the new year. That goes for everything across the board, whatever comes out, new releases. And I can feel already in the last, I don't know, few months, I started to really slow down. There was releases after releases after releases. It's been a big year, in my opinion, for 2018 for releases. It's either going to get worse and we're going to oversaturate it with new releases, or it's going to pull back. People are going to catch on and not want to keep, you know, they can't keep up with what they're buying. They cannot keep up with it because it's just going to go to waste. I think brands should not be pushing that many products onto consumers, because if you're weak and you just love the look of the packaging, etc., it's too much. You need to pull back, really appreciate the product, what you're buying, and not just forget about it a week later and buy something else which is being released. You just need to pull back on it all, in my opinion. And that's what I'm going to concentrate on this year. So although my channel won't be reviewing brand new things every single week, it will be reviewing stuff that I really, really wanted to try out and to buy. I'm basically like you guys who watch videos. Okay, the next one is concentrate more on skincare. So especially at my age, I'm definitely wanting to concentrate more on skincare rather than makeup. Skin is basically a reflection of how the makeup is going to look on the skin. So I have no experience in acne prone skin. I just have the odd blemish every now and again. I do suffer from redness. That's something I've never been able to escape. Some patchy, dry patches sometimes. Here, right in my nose crevices, whatever they're called, I get very, very dry and scaly. That is my issues for skin. So I want to really concentrate on trying out some products throughout the year which can help with those areas. As I'm getting older, that is becoming more of a priority. And I know these days even really young girls have a really good skin regime going on. My battery just literally died on me. So where was we? We were talking about skincare. So yeah, basically concentrate more on skincare, a little bit more than makeup. I'm not going to say completely go off buy makeup products, because I know I'm not going to do that, but skincare is going to, I would say, take priority over makeup this year. Next one is cut down my spending. That's another pretty obvious one. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to cut down my spending. It's my mission. I want to stick to around $100 a month max. So anything up to, I think once I hit that $100 mark, I am done. Why am I saying dollars? Okay, once I hit that £100 mark, I'm done. Definitely. That's a big one. It's an obvious one, but that is a big one to me. It might not even get to £100. I'll be happy. I'll be very happy if I can stick to under £100. You know, there were some bad months last year. Some bad months. Although I did get some crazy amazing deals towards the Black Friday and all of the holidays. I don't care if there was an amazing sale on. Don't say it, and don't say things you can't keep. It would have to be a spectacular sale for me to fall for it. Like, say for instance, if I saw something go on sale tomorrow, something what I've always wanted, I might get it, okay? But I am going to cut down my spending in 2019, and I want to set my budget of anything up to £100. So I'm on number 6 now. The next one is learn more about products to supply the correct info. That's a good one, because I do reviews for you guys. I tell you the bare minimum about the product. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I sometimes don't feel it's necessary to list every ingredient on there. I don't. I know some people like having that info and they find it very helpful. So when I do a review, I usually tell you the bare minimum. I tell you what the item is, obviously, what it's supposed to claim to do, where you can buy it from, how much it costs, and that's really about it. And how it feels on the skin, how it looks on the skin. So I do try and be quite detailed, but I've watched plenty of other people on YouTube who provide a lot more information and stuff that I would actually like to know myself. So I want to be more clued up in what I'm talking about, whether that be for brushes, skincare, makeup. I'm losing my voice. So that's another resolution I want to try and do this year, is be a little bit more clued up in what I'm talking about, so I'm providing people who's watching with the correct info. Yeah, that's a nice easy one. Number 7, declutter stuff that I'm not using. So I will never probably do a video where I declutter a lot of things like eyeshadow palettes, bronzers and blushes, highlighters. I don't have enough things to do that. People who I see decluttering have about 30 or 40 bronzers and highlighters, 30 or 40 palettes. I am not at that level, nor do I want to be at that level. I very much love the stuff that I have, and then the stuff in my collection which I don't want to get rid of, but I'm not using them, and I think I need to get rid of that kind of stuff. So for instance, this Colourpop shadow, see, I already think I shouldn't get rid of it, because I think maybe a client or Halloween or anything might, it's a beautiful colour. It's a very, very intense deep red colour. I have a couple of similar shades, maybe not this exact shade, but this is just an example. I never use this, and I never get rid of it, because I think it's a very unique colour, it's a strong colour, I should use it. So, but that's the type of things I'm talking about, stuff like that. And if I go through my stuff, I'm sure I can find, like this green. I did a look with this Makeup Geek, I call it the Incredible Hulk green. I don't know why. It's a it's a green. Although the eye look that I created, I loved the eye look, I can never see me using this colour again. It's not one of my favourite greens to wear. If anyone wants to use this colour, I might need it in backup. So I do have to be careful in what I get rid of, because I'm sure it would come in handy. And I think if it hasn't come in handy in the next 6 months, it's time to get rid and stop kidding myself that it's going to be used. Things like bronzers and blushes. I have 1, 2, 3. I have about 4 bronzers and 2 palettes which contain bronzers. So that's perfectly enough for me. That is, that's a nice amount of bronzers. And the same with blushes. Highlighters, I have way too many of those, in my opinion. I love my highlighters. And then the last one is my biggest New Year's resolution for 2019. So the biggest one on here, I'm going to try very, 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 very hard to not buy any eyeshadow palettes this year. How people do a no buy for a year, I've got no clue. I'm not that brave to say I'm going to do a no buy. I'm entitled to have a treat every now and again. This is what makes me happy. I need it for my collection. I'm always running out of stuff. I always need to buy concealers. That's the first thing I run out of. Mascaras. I like buying new lipsticks because I've got a lot of similar shades. I like to experiment with different shades of lipsticks. And then foundations is another love of mine, but I've been very good and hardly bought any foundations. They will always come into use for me all the time. They never go to waste. I have a lot, but I use them all, so it's not like my eyeshadow palettes where they actually don't get touched for 2 months sometimes. So eyeshadow palettes is my biggest thing that I am gonna try my hardest not to buy any of 2019. That's gonna be hard because I know what it's like when a new release comes out, but it would have to be something very, very, very special, very unique before I would even consider it. And then the only one I regret not getting was a couple. There's a couple I missed out on in 2018, which I wish I would have got now. Is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Bar one. My daughter has that and I'm trying to convince her to give it to me. I can live without the Too Faced Chocolate Bar one. It is a very nice palette, but I can live without it. The one which I really can't live without, I don't think, and I really wished I would have got it, is the Dose of Colours Friendcation collab with Desi and Katie. That Friendcation palette with those, I think I definitely missed out on that. I should have got that. If that for any reason does go on sale again, I think it was on sale at Christmas and I just said no, I'm done, I cannot buy no more palettes. So but if I do see that one go on sale, that might be the only one that I give into and get that one because it does look like a stunning palette. So yeah, that is my New Year's beauty resolutions. So do you guys have any beauty resolutions of your own? If you do, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing about your stories, and if they're similar to mine, don't forget to like and subscribe my video, and I'll see you soon, very soon, with another video.